Hey, what's up guys? This is Brian from Whisper Status 74. This is an A8F OLED at my buddy Jeremy's house. This display has been on the channel several times. What I want to show you today is we talk about burn-in and you guys don't want to babysit TVs. We've had this conversation before. Most of your fear is on regular TV watching. I have a Netflix menu up here just for copyright purposes, but this really was requested by those of you that are in England and other places where the TV stations are not transparent, they're solid, they're in the corner, they're there the entire time. Now Jeremy does have young children, his TV has no burn-in whatsoever, normal TV watching, but I will show you some of the settings that you can turn down. Now with this Sony, I'll use this example, but you can also use LG. It should be relative to all of you. Sorry, I don't have my tripod. So as we go over here, this is straight out of the box. This is actually, we're gonna go back to the standard picture mode, hold on. So the standard picture mode is out of the box. You don't need your brightness or your backlight at max. Now, a lot of you guys will talk about OLEDs being dim. Think about this when you're not watching HDR content, you don't need the backlight at max. So what a lot of you guys are doing is you're using these standard picture modes, you're using them on regular cable TV, and it can cause burn-in and make it easier to have burn-in. So what I would do is myself, just using Jeremy's standard picture mode, the first setting, brightness doesn't need to be at max simply because we're not watching HDR. When you go into HDR content such as Netflix and you play content, it will max your backlight. It will also, neutralize your gamma, make your gamma at 0, and it'll also do extended dynamic range. These settings you do not need to have at max for normal TV watching. So when you're watching cable, go into your brightness, lower that, and for LG that may be backlight. Into your other settings, contrast, knock your gamma down 1. What we're trying to do is lower the brightness. Advanced contrast answer, I wouldn't use. Peak luminance, you can turn that down as well, as it's not really necessary for regular TV watching. Now, a lot of us are gonna say, or a lot of you guys are gonna say, well, I shouldn't lower the brightness on an already dim picture of an OLED. Remember, I'm not talking about this in regards to movie settings. We're talking about this in regards to regular news watching. And you're thinking about that, you're really upscaling 720p, 1080p as well. So it's not gonna look great with all these things at max. So these are a few of them. Again, backlight, lower that a little bit. My 900E, the backlight on non-HDR is like 15. So coming down again, we'll go through them again. You can drop your gamma, your black levels, your brightness, you can leave that there. But I would keep advanced contrast enhancer off, peak luminance, lower that. And just kind of stay with those settings. Lower them and you should be better. And keep your screensavers on all your devices. But those kinds of settings, those 2 brightness options will save you a lot of problems with regular TV watching. Those of you that are afraid of, news channels, your cable TV, your sports, because these out of the box, sports setting, I don't know if this one even still has a sports setting, but they really, that is dangerous if you're watching regular TV. You're watching the ticker on sports, news. So just be mindful, set yourself up a certain setting for certain things. So you have a regular TV setting, set that up as your custom or your standard. Your higher end Blu-rays, 4K, use that as a certain movie setting. Have a setting for almost every purpose. Custom, for instance. Come in here and knock this down. Again, not for movies, guys, for news, for sports. There's no reason to have that backlight all the way at max. It is necessary for HDR and higher end content, but for your regular TV watching, just be mindful of a couple of these settings. Same with LG or any other manufacturer that you're dealing with. So just quick video, quick tips, your gamma, your brightness, and they're different for other companies. Drop those down a few notches and that will also, help burn-in be less of an issue because you don't need to see, ESPN burn in the corner. All right, guys, thank you as always. LG, Sony, OLED guys in the comments. Any other tips you have, please put them in the comments. I appreciate you guys. Thank you so much. Just turn a couple of these settings down and it'll definitely help you guys out. All right, this is Brian. Take care.